Hello everyone, so if you're not already aware, Proposition 8, which was a voter-approved ban on same-sex marriage in California, has been struck down as unconstitutional. Reading from a New York Times article on the subject, a federal appeals court panel on Tuesday threw out a voter-approved ban on same-sex marriage passed in 2008, upholding a lower court's ruling that the ban, known as Proposition 8, violated the constitutional rights of gay men and lesbians in California. The three-judge panel issued its ruling in San Francisco, upholding a 2010 decision by Judge Vaughn R. Walker, who had been the Chief Judge of the Federal District Court of the Northern District of California, but has since retired. The panel found that Proposition 8, passed by a vote of 52% to 48%, violated the equal protection rights of two same-sex couples who brought the suit. The proposition placed a specific prohibition in the state constitution against gay marriage between two people of the same sex. Now, if you don't know already, if you're new to my channel, I am totes in favour of gay rights. So obviously, I'm a big fan of this decision. But surprise! Some people aren't. For instance, some people say things like this, quote, "My vote basically didn't matter. Why did I go out to the polls and vote for Prop 8 when one unelected judge can just overturn that?" And that was Prop 8 supporter Luke Otterstad speaking in 2010, just after the original aforementioned unconstitutional ruling by Judge Vaughn R. Walker. Speaking on the recent unconstitutional ruling, and I'm reading from an article from the Pasadena Sun. Fancy. Los Angeles County Supervisor Mike Antonovich said, "Once again, activist judges with a political correctness agenda have disenfranchised the people who voted overwhelmingly to oppose same-sex marriage in California. Over 4.5 million Californians in 2000 and over 7 million in 2008. First of all, overwhelming? Prop 8 passed with a 52% majority. That's a majority nonetheless. It passed, but it's not overwhelming. And second of all, political correctness? You think that people support gay rights and gay marriage out of political correctness? Don't want to offend anyone, don't want to offend the gays, better give them marriage. You think that's what's motivating people to support gay marriage? Okie doke. But this is a popular sentiment for people in their position. People who voted against gay marriage and ultimately won only for their decision to be declared invalid, basically. Essentially what they're saying is, why is it that if a majority of people, a slim majority in this case, but a majority nonetheless, of millions of people can vote on a particular issue, only for a small amount of government higher-ups to just invalidate their decision as they see fit? Well, I'll tell you. Speaking again from the New York Times article, Judge Stephen R. Reinhart, who was one of the two judges in the three-judge panel who voted to strike down Proposition 8, said the following: "Although the Constitution permits communities to enact most laws they believe to be desirable, it requires that there be at least a legitimate reason for the passage of a law that treats different classes of people differently. There was no such reason that Proposition 8 could have been enacted." In other words, yes, the will of the people does matter, and yes, majority does rule, but only when you can provide a legitimate reason as to why. You can't just introduce laws that make life shitty for a significant portion of the population just cause. For instance, if you wanted to go fishing tomorrow but the rest of the population didn't want you to, it would be pretty unfair for them to stop you without a good reason. But hey, that's just the will of the majority according to the opponents of gay marriage. To use a more chilling example, if the majority voted tomorrow to make murder legal, they'd need to provide some pretty good reasons as to why that should happen. As it is, there are zero good reasons to legalize murder, so sorry majority, no legalized murder for you. It's the same with gay marriage. You can't discriminate against a certain group of people without a good reason. And there are no good reasons to discriminate against gay people in this way, so the majority can go fuck themselves. These people are moaning that their decision, which discriminates against a large group of people for no rational reason, has been struck down by a judicial system which is supposed to strike down decisions like this when they have no rational basis. The judiciary is supposed to interpret and apply the law, and if you write an equal protection clause into your constitution, you'd better sotting well mean equal protection. Equal protection for everyone. All that getting angry about this suggests to me is that you're someone who doesn't understand what a judiciary does or why it's there. Luke Otterstad, Mike Antonovich, anyone else who thinks this is unfair, you are fucking idiots. And frankly, I find your indignance pretty damn offensive. Mike Antonovich described the supporters of Prop 8 as being disenfranchised. Disenfranchised meaning you've had your rights taken away. The judiciary has acted as a judiciary should, and that means that bigots are disenfranchised. You're saying that you're disenfranchised because you're not allowed to disenfranchise another group? That's exactly like that Maggie Gallagher idiot that said that we should tolerate her intolerance. And I also want to point out something else. All these people are going on and on and on about the majority rules. How the majority ruled that gay marriage should be illegal in California, but but this was declared to be invalid and unconstitutional, and that this is unfair because it violates majority rules, it's an affront to democracy, whatever. I want to know what these people are going to say when it inevitably becomes the case that the majority of people in California, or indeed the entire United States, do actually support gay marriage. What will you say then? Because it's going to happen. Gay rights and gay equality is inevitable. I think the latest statistic that I saw, and don't quote me on this because I don't have the source for it, but I think that the statistic is that young people, which I think is ages 18 to 24, support gay marriage in the United States by a percentage of 70%. And even if you are a bit shaky with statistics, it is undeniable that younger people support gay marriage more than older people. And the thing is, older people tend to have a habit of dying. Eventually, and it is absolutely inevitable, mark my words, the majority of Americans will support gay marriage. What are people like you going to say then? Are you all going to sit around and say, oh, well, the majority dictates it, majority decision, that's fine by me? No, you fucking won't. You're still going to take this to the courts and try and fight it every step of the way. You disingenuous, homophobic dicks. Thanks for watching.